Morning all. Dr. Manji has told something about the fetal surgery, and I am extending the topic to the perinatal based stem cell therapy in various diseases. So as we know that regenerative medicine requires the excision of the dysfunctional tissue and replacement by a functional tissue that can be obtained by the stem cells. And why these stem cells important? Because they have a unique property of self-renewal and ability to differentiate into specialized tissue, and now genetically reprogrammed cell, that is iPS cells has been introduced, that are protected against many disease, and that is under human control. So what are the types of stem cells? These are the totipotent cells obtained from the embryonal stem cells after fertilization, or pluripotent cells that can be obtained from the blastocyst stage, or the multipotent cells that can be obtained from the adult known as somatic stem cells. Uh, and sources of stem cells in clinical use can be neonates from the umbilical cords, or the amniotic fluid, or the placenta. In adult, from the bone marrow, skin, skeletal muscle, neural stem cell, fat cells, and then there's iPS cell, that is the genetically reprogrammed cells. The mode of therapy can be the cell-based therapy, in which the cells are administered, or the cells are seeded on the some scaffold to produce tissue engineered graft, or the human amniotic membrane that has some mesenchymal stem cells is of excellent use. So perinatal stem cell therapy means autologous amniotic fluid mesenchymal stem cells, usually retrieved by the amniocentesis after 15 weeks of gestation, or if the disease is diagnosed antenatally, they can be retrieved at the time of planned cesarean section. So, in a special context, we see the spinal defects. Amniotic fluid stem cells has been injected in the epidural space during the surgical repair that strengthened the wound, and the amniotic fluid neural stem cells can be injected to regenerate the dysplastic nervous tissue. Then amniotic membrane itself can be used to cover the neural placodes, and then the 3D tissue engineered artificial skin can also be used. So MOMS trials is the fetal open surgery trials that use the antenatal repair, and after that the CURE trial has came in 2012, in which till date around 6 babies has been operated. This is a human trial in which the cellular therapy for in utero repair of meningomyelocele is going on in the California. And Shinji Rao is a pediatric surgeon who operated the first baby, Robbie, first time. Then in the MMC defects, the stem cells can be injected by another method, that is the TransEct therapy. It is an antenatal transamniotic stem cell therapy in which the concentrates of mesenchymal stem cells are infused in intraamniotic cavity, and these cells preferentially goes to localize as the defect size, and then they trigger the formation of the rudimentary skins and decreases the chances of anal cherry malformation in future. Similarly, in the gastroschisis, the TransEct therapy has been used, and then in the postnatal period, we can use the human amniotic membrane as a peritoneal substitute that prevents the adhesion between the bowel and skin that prevents the formation of future adhesions. In the biliary atresia, autologous bone marrow stem cells has been injected into the liver via either hepatic artery, portal vein, and during the surgery or even after the portoenterostomy, and it has shown significant biochemical and scintigraphic improvement. Another spectrum is the inflammatory disease of the newborn, that is the NEC, intraventricular hemorrhage, and bronchopulmonary dysplasia. In NEC, in animal models, the intraperitoneal injections of stem cell has been shown to decrease the chances of inflammation in the bowel, and then these cells can be injected after the delivery during the surgery at the ischemic site, so that by the paracrine effects they help to heal the bowel. Then enteral and transrectal administration of stem cell concentrates has also been tried, which combat deficient amniotic fluid trophic factors. Even some formula feeds has been introduced in Western countries that have amniotic fluid extract. In the Hirschsprung disease, postnatal human gut mucosal biopsy can be obtained by the endoscopy, and then they are transplanted into the ganglionic cells, and that are shown to develop into the ganglion-like structure. Another area is the congenital heart defects, in which if the autologous stem cells cellulized tissue engineered heart valve is used, that are important because they decreases the lifelong need for anticoagulation medications, and also decrease the failure rate because these valves remodel and grows with the time. Similarly, in the congenital diaphragmatic hernia, the chances of recurrence is decreased if we use cellularized prosthesis, autologous autologous stem cell based. And in CDH, one area is also explored, in which in utero injections of stem cells in the lungs has been given, that has been shown to increase the branching and epithelial maturation, so that they are decreasing the pulmonary hypoplasia and pulmonary hypertension. Then tissue engineered autologous implants can be used in chest wall reconstruction, craniofacial defects, tracheogenesis, aphasia, others. In the esophageal anastomosis, human amniotic membrane has been used in human trials around the esophageal anastomosis that prevents the chances of recurrent fistula and also the containing links. Then there are some renal dysplastic tissue can be also regenerated, but despite of all these facts, there are limitations with the ethical with the stem cell uses, because human embryonic stem cells are not in clinical use, that requires the destructions of the embryo. So iPS cells are in the current is recommended, but it is still prohibited for human use in many countries. Further problem with the iPS cell is there is the genetic reprogramming. So there, even it is the autologous cell, it has the chances of immune rejection.
Dr. Sunita, please,
Yes.
you'll have to wind up.
Okay, sir. This is the second last slide. And there, again, there is a chances of teratocarcinogenesis or the risk of carcinoma because of the adenovirus. Then there are some technical issues regarding the labs that used to be procure and grow these cells. In the clinical point of view, the anomalies are the rare, so multi-center trials are needed. And for unproven therapies, still there is no role for stem cells. So to conclude, transitional care from experimental to clinical trials are the need of our to expand the indications, route of administration, and potential adjuvants to establish the safety and efficacy of stem cell in the pediatric surgical diseases. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sunita.